The headline reads, Pope Francis says he hopes for the grace to know when to quit. This was published from Vatican Transcripts on May 15th, 2018. The move, of course, would not be without precedence because Pope Benedict XVI resigned from his papacy position as the Pope in February of 2013, and he became the first Pope to do so in over 700 years. And at the time, Pope Francis in 2015, he said there should not be leaders for life in the church. And he also previously stated that Benedict's resignation should not be considered an exception, but an institution to resign from the papacy of being the Pope of the Roman Catholic Church. In his remarks released by the Vatican, the Pope also mentioned the Apostle Paul, as I guess as he's publicly weighing this decision in the near future to step down from his post. He's quoted as saying, Pope Francis, it's a decisive move, a move that reaches the heart. It's also a move that shows us the pathway for every bishop when it's time to take his leave and step down. Francis also went on to say that Francis said Paul, as in the Apostle Paul, felt compelled by the Holy Spirit to go to Jerusalem, and he lauded this experience by the bishop who can discern the Spirit, who can discern when it is the Spirit of God speaking to him, and knows how to defend himself when spoken to by the spirit of the world. He's speaking about the Apostle Paul in the Bible. This also has to open up speculation about who would be the next Pope, if indeed Pope Francis decides to step down from his post as the Pope. And this also reminds me of the Petrus Romanus prophecy, and that's a book written by Chris Putnam and Thomas Hearns. And the book is written based upon the prophecies of the Pope given to us by Saint Malachi, and they're called Saint Malachi's prophecy of the Pope. And I'll go and show you more about Saint Malachi's prophecy of the Pope. This is the Wikipedia page for the prophecies of the popes based upon the prophecies of Saint Malachi. As you'll see here, the prophecy of the Pope is a series of 112 short cryptic phrases in Latin which purport to predict the Roman Catholic popes along with the few anti-popes, beginning with Pope Celestine II. The alleged prophecies were first published by a Benedictine monk, Honor Wion, in 1595. Wion attributes the prophecies to St. Malachi, a 12th century archbishop from Ireland. And we'll go down to the part about Petrus Romanus for us to read. It says, in recent times, some interpreters of prophetic literature have drawn attention to the prophecy due to their imminent conclusion. As the description is matched on a one-to-one basis to the list of historic popes, the prophecy's publication, Pope Benedict XVI, will correspond to the second of the last papal descriptions. The glory of the olive, the longest and final prophecy, predicts the apocalypse. And of course, Pope Francis resigns. Benedict XVI wouldn't be second to the last, it would be Pope Francis. But it speaks on Petrus Romanus, which means Peter the Roman. It says, in the final persecution of the Holy Roman Church, there will sit as bishop Peter the Roman, who will pasture his sheep in many tribulations. And when these things are finished, the city of seven hills, i.e. Rome, will be destroyed, and the dreadful judge will judge his people. The end. And if I personally had to pontificate about who I think would be the next Pope, it would be Cardinal Peter Turkson. And he is an African-born cardinal from Ghana in northwest Africa. He's well known on the world scene. He's been to such events such as the World Economic Forum in Davos, and he's met with many of the world leaders previously. So he, without a doubt, would be this man. And I'll leave a link to his Facebook page, his official Facebook page here. Be the leading candidate to be the next Pope, and whether or not he is the final Pope predicted by the Pope prophecies and ironically, his name is Peter, Cardinal Peter Turkson, and of course Peter the Roman, and he would head the Roman Catholic Church. So we'll just wait and see for any further news come out of the Vatican to see if indeed in the coming days, weeks, and months, if Pope Francis decides to resign from his position as the Pope.